Alright, I haven't seen a proper video covering all of Transmog and its full features yet, and especially some things you might want to look out for, some very nifty, and there are a few glitches, some pieces are bugged. I'm going to mention some of the ones that I am aware of, but other than that, Transmog is probably one of the best features to come to this game besides the Brimstone update, and I would confidently say that. Right now, as we stand in this beautiful sunset, I've got one of my night Transmogs here, and I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. I spent about an hour on this one. It's using a store purchase skin, and then we got some other ones. I actually can't even remember the sources, I just had them pre-update. So anyways, I first want to mention that to actually view your Transmog collection and what you haven't unlocked or haven't redeemed with a token, you have to go to Stylemances in towns. They have a very unique symbol. It's this little one here. Look out for the symbol in any major settlements. You will find a Stylemancer. Okay, so this is a Stylemancer right here. We're currently at the Everfull one. When you actually go into the little NPC here, all the other players disappear around you, which is quite nice. However, new players that come into the area do not disappear. I'm assuming this will be a pretty easy fix, because again, if you stay here for a while, it's going to get built up with new players, and it might block your vision with your Transmog. Anyways, going into the actual Transmog UI, we have tabs with every single item in the game. And this is very cool. I'm very happy, and I am completely amazed at how well they've done with this UI, because it looks incredible. So we'll just look at the one-handed weapons category for now. So this has your longsword, rapiers, and hatchets in it. So as you can see, top right displays our Transmog token account balance. So this is account wide. If you dye something, redeem something on one character, it'll be on all of your characters, which is very nice. And that includes your dye setups. So you can actually pre-save dyes to that piece, and no matter what item you apply that skin to, it'll have those dyes you applied to that skin. So this Shattered Soul Heavy Headwear, if I put this on a different piece of gear that I own, it will have this exact sort of bronze dye on it. So anyway, scrolling down, you can see that, well, not scrolling down, you can see that we have little icons here. So these represent their sources basically. So shopping cart means I bought it from a store. Twitch icon means I bought it from, didn't buy, I got it from a Twitch Prime, I believe it is. And then somewhere here, yeah, the blue crown means it's come, that's the Prime Gaming one, sorry. The Twitch icon means it's a Twitch drop. Now the other one, the actual Transmog token, these are things that you've collected in the open world but haven't unlocked yet. And what I mean by that is that you can collect everything in the game without needing to actually own that skin. So you can fill up your full collection book, or I'm going to call it a collection book because it sounds cool. You can fill up your full Transmog collection book with every item in the game without having to buy the skins, which is very cool, and I think that gives completionists something to do. Right now I'm currently trying to get every single musket skin in New World. Obviously you know me. Currently I'm about halfway. There's a long way to go. A lot of them are currently from expeditions, which I'm missing. So it's going to be a fun grind for me. But I'm probably going to start that with Season 3 with the ward reworks, because I do not actually own ward gear, because I'm very new to PvE, believe it or not, as a PvP main. So alongside that, you can see that these ones I've collected, but I haven't actually unlocked. So my Transmog account balance, I'll actually show you how this works. Let's find a skin that I might want. I've always wanted let's look at rapiers. I think I need a new rapier. So I'm going to go down to the rapier tab here. Now, all these grayed out ones I haven't actually found or collected in the open world yet. I actually don't have these ones. But all these ones up here, these are ones I've collected and found in the open world, or in a dungeon, or from Outpost Rush. There's so many sources where these weapons and items come from. You can simply take this name, chuck it into New World DB, the New World database, and it'll tell you the exact source of where these items come from. If it's a name drop, if it's a bind on equip. Bind on equips again will save you a lot of time. You can just get those off the trade post, but if you're trying to farm out a certain look that is bind on pickup, you're going to have to go and put the time in to get that. And there's a lot of cool looks that are bind on pickup, and I think that is also a good thing, because that means you actually have to go and grind it out. Like, I believe this helmet comes from Tempest's Heart. I can't remember, but I believe it's a bind on pickup from Tempest's Heart, which is, I think that is very cool, and I think that adds a certain depth of collecting and grinding instead of just getting everything from the trade post. You do get a lot of it from the trade post, because a lot of items are bind on equip, but some bind on equip items are also very sought after, so they could be quite a high price. I know that with the Icicle Rapier, which I actually really badly want. I believe it's down here somewhere. Yeah, so it's the Glass Orichalcum Rapier. The named drop for this is the Icicle, and this is a very rare drop and sells for a lot of gold currently because this is very hard to get. I believe it's a world drop, and world drops are very hard to get. Currently there is the daily event going where you can actually get the loot drops 3 times a day. We have a chance at actually getting buy and equip world name drops. This is one of them, but again, it's still very rare, and Icicle is definitely a good one to have. I like the glass weapon sets a lot. Again, another feature we can actually highlight here is the preview tab. This is a little bit buggy, but if you just keep pressing preview a few times, it should work. Now what it's doing is that no matter where I go or what tab I go to, I will keep that rapier equipped with that look, so I can actually match a look with it. This is mostly handy if you're trying to match an armor set. This is actually what I did for the current armor I'm wearing right here, is I actually previewed everything, so I made sure that was the look I wanted to go farm out, I wanted to equip, and I wanted to die. Because again, Transmog tokens, they're not the cheapest. I think it's around, for me in New Zealand dollars, I think it's roughly around $3 to $4 per Transmog, which is definitely on the higher end, but I think with how premium of a feature this is compared to the rest of the game, I don't mind chipping in a little bit of money for this because of how amazing the outcomes can be. Compared to gear sets though, I do think gear sets should have been free, but that is a story for another time. So again, you have that preview feature. We can go to another item. Let's say there's a hood that I really want in here. Let's try and find it. This hood is actually from the Ennead, and I have barely done the Ennead. Yes, this is the Grand Legion medium headwear. This one also looks good on my current outfit, and I really want to see it. As you can see, it's bugged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to it and click on it, and that's where it. This is a very cool hood. It's probably one of my favorite hoods. But as you can see, we have the rapier and the hood on preview, so now we can actually build out our transmog without owning it to make sure that's the look we want to farm. You know, I have a notepad that I have open just to jot the names down so I can quickly chuck them into New World DB. But again, this is a great in-game activity. I'm very happy that this is finally here. Clear preview button down here, so we can clear that preview. We can go back to our original look. Very nice. Again, so I'll go back to showing you guys actually purchasing something. So let's see. Let's get a rapier. I definitely need a new rapier. I think that my current one is looking a little bit bland. Let's see what we got. I do like the war rapier. I think it looks very clean. Sundering Respite. For some reason, name drops have different names to their transmog names. I'm not sure why this is, but Zio over at New World DB, that he manages everything over there, what he's done is if you take this tagline, this name here of this item in the transmog book, and you chuck it into New World DB, it'll give you the actual named items for each piece. So you can cross-reference really quick and know exactly what you need to go and farm out. A lot of these also have different ways to farm them. For example, with Infamy, which is called the Vicious Orichalca musket, there's, I believe, 8 different ways to get this musket skin. It does make it feel a little bit less prestigious as Infamy is, as it once was. But again, I think that is also a good thing that you have that choice of preference on what you want to do to get the certain skin. I think that's a great feature, and I think that's very cool. Then there's also a lot of unique ones that only have one source, like the Inquisitor, for example. I believe this only has one source. It is a crafting pattern. This one you have to have 200 engineering and you have to have the pattern for it. I believe it costs 20 Asmo as well, but it's got this really nice white strike and glow, which I absolutely love. There's a lot of great muskets here. You know, another one of my top picks is the Tempest Heart musket. This is very clean. It's got a nice sort of etched in gold plate. On to the next thing I guess I want to talk about is there is also this bug here where you can't preview stuff at all, even just hovering over it, and you have this sort of weird item following your cursor. Simply right click and that'll go away and you can go back to previewing items. It is very buggy, and we're about to get on to the next buggy feature in a sec here, but what I'll do first is we'll just purchase a new weapon. I mean, as long as you can achieve outcomes without any major issues, I think Transmog is perfect right now, and I'm surprised at how flawless it's been. I'll learn a few nicks and knacks. So yeah, I like this rapier. We'll go with this one. So we're gonna press this, we're going to use our transmog token, we're going to unlock for 1 token. You can apply it straight here, or we're just going to click confirm because I don't want to put it on right now. And now the next feature is dyeing. So right now I'm wearing a store-bought skin chest piece. You can dye from in the Stylemancer, and you can dye all of your skins right here. So right now I've got all these sort of bronze and reds going on to achieve this certain look. Looks very cool, right? This is the most buggy feature in the game right now, is dyes. These ones on the end have like, it's like there's a second sort of UI currently overlaid on this the dye section. I don't know if it's the previous UI with all your skins displayed that's actually sort of drawn on top of this, and you're actually you're clicking sort of both things. So if you want to get the tint selected, you have to go to like right on the edge here. This again should be a very easy fix. I think AGS simply just needs to hide the UI overlay on one thing. yeah, as you can see, I'm hovering over here and I'm actually still hovering on skins. So I definitely think there's just some UI elements that are actually still drawn without fully being hidden. Should be an easy fix. But again, as you can see, it's hard to pick the dyes, it's very finicky. So if you have to go like the edge of a certain dye to actually pick it, it's very annoying. But I think this is a great feature, other than the glitchy preview feature and the glitchy dyes. If you're changing skins away from the Stylemancer, you only see the stuff you've actually redeemed with tokens. So this is all the stuff I've redeemed with Transmog tokens, right? Or I've bought from the store or got from a Twitch drop or Prime Gaming. This is great. I think it's a very minimal UI. I'm very happy they reworked this into the old 3x3 that we had beforehand. You can toggle on and off the skin over here, which is very nice in case you want to go back to whatever your gear was wearing. That's a very nice feature. You can dye from in here as well. So you can change all your skins. Again, you can't redeem skins with tokens in this screen. You have to go to a Stylemancer, which I don't mind. I think it reduces clutter, and if you just want to see the stuff you've unlocked, you would go into your personal UI. You can filter it, again, by name, by store. That doesn't really do much, I don't think. Okay, so the filters are a little bit bugged. So you can search up things, though. If I search up infamy, I don't think anything comes up. Yeah. So you actually have to know the name of the Transmog version of it, which is a little bit tedious, and I can kind of understand why they did that, because there's a lot of duplicate items in the game. Again, there's 8 different versions of the Infamy skin. They just compiled it all into one and called it the Vicious Orichalca Musket. I think if you learn the names, you'll sort of just get used to it. It's a pretty minor issue in the grand scheme of things. I think the main one is the dyes, because you can do a workaround for the previewing gear. It's just a few clicks and you'll get your preview to work. Again, I think the main issue really is just that you can't actually apply certain dyes. It's very buggy. Now, the next feature is Transmog is per item. So if I open my gear sets here, and I go to my musket Freedom Arena, I put on an entirely different skin. Unlike previously with New World, is your skin would stay on no matter what gear piece you put on. Now, you bind a skin that you have to that gear piece. It's a little bit slow to start with, but once you get all your specific and unique gear sets set up, you can have a bunch of different skins. I've got currently 3 main transmogs, and I absolutely love this feature. I can just instantly switch between my skins. And I think that's very cool. So that is the sort of main feature there, and I think that is mainly everything I want to cover. The next video is going to be a war video about viability of musket. I've done one in the past, but now I'm actually going to be doing a clip dump alongside a full gameplay analysis of musket and war. I'm pretty excited to get that out. So I'll see you guys in the next one.